You know, in the NBA, they have awards like the MVP award, Rookie of the Year, but they also have the All-NBA team selected at the end of each season. Now, the All-NBA team is selecting the 5 best athletes at their given position to determine the selective team of that season. And of course, this being a pro wrestling channel, I thought, what if we were to take the concept of the All-NBA team and apply it to the WWE? Now, given that the WWE is a company that's been running for 70 plus years, it would be a lot of time and a lot of effort in order to go through each individual year and select 5 of the best wrestlers from each selective year. So instead, I thought, let's go ahead going by era. So the Golden Era, the New Generation Era, the Attitude Era, etc. Going by each individual era and selecting the 5 most influential, 5 of the most successful, and 5 of the best wrestlers that defined each given era. And if you guys appreciate these videos and enjoy them as much as I enjoy making them, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the pro wrestling content that is produced on this channel. With that being said, the very first era that we will be covering, of course, is the Golden Era in WWE, as it ran from 1983 to 1993. Of course, the dawn of the Golden Era really started with the beginning of Hulkamania, as Hulk Hogan would win the WWE Championship, defeating Iron Sheik. Now, with that being said, I feel like the first selection in the All-WWE Golden Era team has to be Hulk Hogan. Not only was he influential to the beginning of WrestleMania, but the big 80s wrestling boom that would occur and help press the WWE into an upper echelon in terms of sports entertainment. And that's another reason why I wanted to do this format of selecting all WWE teams, is because if we were to do a Mount Rushmore, it would be your basic and typical selections, guys like Austin, Rock, Undertaker, Hogan, John Cena, you know, the same 6 or 7 names that are thrown out and just different rotational choices. But I think for someone like Hulk Hogan, who would hold the WWE Championship for 4 straight years and hold it on 6 separate occasions, he would be the obvious pick to select in the Golden Era's All-WWE team. And as for the second selection, I thought about who had some of the most level of impact, not only conversely to Hulk Hogan, but who was influencing other wrestlers that would follow in years to come. This guy, of course, was primarily known as a heel character, but would become one of the more entertaining babyface characters as well. Of course, I'm referring to Roddy Piper. Now, growing up and watching some of the older videos, some of the older matches that were held in the Golden Era, I always found myself more interested in Roddy Piper. He was a little bit more edgy, he had a little bit of more brutality to him, in the sense he was much more of a brawler. And although he was all talk most of the time, Roddy Piper could carry out a great match. You saw his feuds with the likes of Hulk Hogan, obviously with Mr. T. Roddy Piper solidifies himself as one of the all-time greatest, not only in this era, but of any era for that matter, as he was influenced guys like a CM Punk, who was taking a lot of what he had done in his career and apply it to his own career today. And again, in no particular order, the next selection for the All-WWE team in the Golden Era would have to be Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, being known as the 8th wonder of the world, again, was another huge proponent as to lifting the WWE to new heights. His feud with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3 became one of the biggest attractions in wrestling history and is arguably known as one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania and pro wrestling history. Just from his sheer size alone, as well as becoming really the first known attraction in the WWE. We look at attractions like a Brock Lesnar in modern days, who would come every now and then and surprise us with some kind of match or moment, but Andre the Giant, who was billed as undefeated in 15 years and was basically the king of the Battle Royal, solidifies himself again as one of those characters that you would recognize even if you're not a pro wrestling fan. And for that reason, Andre the Giant makes it onto the All-WWE team for the Golden Era. This next individual, it wasn't tough to make this choice. Not only was he great in ring, he was great on the mic. His character work, whether it was babyface or a heel, solidifies himself. And I feel like I keep saying that because the Golden Era really was an era where you had a clear-cut choice of who the top guys were. And there was a lot of choices, and we'll get to that 5th option in a moment. But at number 4, Randy Macho Man Savage. Again, he was electrifying on the mic as well as entertaining in the ring. His work with Miss Elizabeth, as well as the matches with the likes of the Ultimate Warrior, guys like Ricky Steamboat, Hulk Hogan, and even the storyline with Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire really resonate with a lot of fans today who had not only grown up watching it, but for someone like me who had gone back and rewatched in the archives, have found and known to love now. And as we hit the 5th and final spot, of the Golden Era's All-WWE Team, there were a lot of names I were considering, and the fact is, I look at it from the stance of who were the top guys, who were the guys that fans wanted to see, who were excited, who left an impact. And ultimately, I liken it to the way that Rich Eisen in the NFL says, if you can't tell the history of the sport without their name, are they necessarily an all-time great? And I feel like with the Ultimate Warrior, given his faults, given his successes, you simply can't deny the level of impact and influence the Ultimate Warrior had on not only the wrestling business, but wrestling fans alike. I know for me personally, growing up, I would ask my own dad who were some of his favorite superstars in the WWE growing up, and one of the first names that he brought to my attention was the Ultimate Warrior. Not only based on his appearance alone, but the energy that he brought with every appearance and every match, it was exhilarating. He described it as a superhero in real life. And for that reason, and I guess for some biased reasons as well, I have to put the Ultimate Warrior in that fifth and final spot of the All-WWE Team in Golden Era. And as for some honorable mention, there were some names that I were considering, guys like the Iron Sheik, Demolition, and Jake the Snake Roberts. All I believe were worthy enough to be on this list, but were edged out with the likes of the names that I have listed before you. Let's take one final look at the names that made the All-WWE Team. We have Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho Man Savage, Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, and the Ultimate Warrior, again to close out the Golden Era's All-WWE Team. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to follow for more pro wrestling content that I provide on this channel, and keep an eye out for the J Area podcast releasing every Friday morning. And on top of that, every Wednesday, you can expect another video covering a different era and their All-WWE Team. But before you go, make sure to go ahead and subscribe here, or follow one of these videos for the playlist of the J Area podcast, or one of my latest videos that I've released on this channel.